Welcome to Garden Crossings. I'm Heidi. Today I'm going to take you for a walk through the greenhouse and show you just some of what the team has been up to. Since the last time I went through and did a video of the behind the scenes of what the team has been doing, we have seen so much growth on these plants that it's just so exciting because it's a welcoming sign that spring is coming. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the team is doing today. We'll walk past some of the plants and show you the growth that they're starting to take on. We should be shipping here in about 3 weeks or so. So the plants with a little sun, they'll be ready to ship out the week of March 27, depending on your zone. So let's take a look at some of the pretties in the greenhouse today. Right now we are in one of our perennial houses. This house contains our quart-sized perennials. These are just some of the varieties that we have. Things I'm seeing by just looking at a glance are Bernera, Shasta daisies. The bright splash of color there towards the middle and the end are all heuchera. Right up front here are some beautiful dianthus. A few little stray blooms here and there. But definitely the plants are filling in fabulous since they were planted these ones I think were planted about 4 weeks ago or so. So we're going to be heading through some doors, taking you into many different greenhouses just to see what is going on. Whew. So this greenhouse we're in right now houses all of our big leaf hydrangeas along with some grasses which are right up front here. And the big leaf hydrangeas are doing fabulous. We'll go in and take a look. I think I see a few flowers starting, so that's always pretty exciting. I'm seeing lots of buds. So this is the Let's Dance Can Do. Check out all the buds on that plant. These are scheduled to be blooming around Mother's Day. So either if you're shopping here in our store in Zeeland, Michigan, or if you're shopping online, our goal is that they would ship out with for sure buds, if not blooms. There we have Let's Dance Reba, a nice bloom starting there. I just feel like I'm walking in a sea of happiness right now with all of these hydrangeas around. We're going to continue to head forward and see what the girls are doing up here. So I believe there are some of the team are planting right now. These gals are maintaining. So basically they're working in the clematis, which nobody would say is a fun job. Although we made it a little better this year by giving ourselves a bigger aisleway to work in. So they're going through and they're trimming them if they're starting to get too tall. So with clematis, because they are a vine, they get all tangled and such. So the more we can keep up on the maintenance of them, trimming any tall growth off and twist tying it to the stake to keep them all organized and in their own pot and not venturing over to their neighbors. This is also fun when I start seeing the blooms on the clematis, which there's not a lot yet, but I am seeing a few varieties starting to show, and these are always the first ones that start to bloom. This here is the Montana Rubens, a little bit smaller type flower form, but a really pretty light pink, and you can see all the buds. Across the aisle, Montana Maylene, which is very similar looking. Again, small flower form, kind of a light pink flower. It's when the big clematis start blooming that I get excited and want to come out here with my camera and take all the pictures. So I think we have about 60, maybe about 40 varieties this year actually of the clematis vines. All right, let's walk through and see what's next. So in this house, I was talking to Rod the other day and I'm like, holy cow, these plants are growing like crazy out here. This is one of our hot houses, so we keep the temperature at different levels depending on what greenhouse we're in. In this greenhouse we're in right now are some of the plants that are more the heat-loving type varieties. So I want to show you these hostas because they are looking gorgeous. Look at those buggers. These are all quart-sized containers. Those big ones you're seeing there are the Empress Wu. And we've got Voices in the Wind. Actually, you know what? No, that's Diamond Lake. That big one there is Diamond Lake. Voices in the Wind. Empress Woo. So really they are starting to sprout and are looking fabulous. Just look at all this beautiful new growth. See how many doors we have to walk through today. Because we keep the greenhouses all sectioned off to keep the temperature climate controlled, from one end to the other, I feel like I'm walking through about 7 or 8 doors. So we're constantly opening and closing doors. The greenhouse we're in right now, this is our greenhouse where we have the new grow lights in, and they seem to be doing pretty good. So when the light levels hit a certain darkness, it could be during the day, these lights will pop on so that the plants are always getting the bright light. It's really noisy in here right now because our fans are running because the sun is out, so we don't want it to get too warm, so we're sucking some of this warm air outside. And then we also have some box fans running just to keep the circulation at ground level going, since some of these varieties just need to have more airflow than others. So a lot of color in this area right now. We've got some begonias here in front of us. We've got the Double Delight Blush Rose, kind of a really pretty pinkish orange. Double Delight Primrose, which is a beautiful yellow with just a touch of apricot. Double Up Pink. And these plants have another about 3 or 4 weeks before they're going to need to be ready to be shipped out. Double Up Red, beautiful dark foliage. Double Up White. We've got some funky orange begonias, scarlet and pink as well. So the begonias need to be grown under these grow lights. And we're just doing a trial with it this year, and it seems to be doing a lot better. They're growing a lot better under the more well-lit conditions. The girls have just planted in this area today, so these are all very young plants. We've got the Blew My Mind. Across the aisle there, you're seeing lots of beautiful color. Those are all the Color Blaze Coleus. Bunch of Lantana. Cake Pops Verbena. And here we have some sweet potato vine. The soil is all dry, so this hasn't even been watered in yet, so super freshly planted. They are working on some hostas right now. We just ran over to Walter's Gardens, Rod and I did, about an hour or two ago, and picked up all these hostas. So they're also going to get grown here under these light conditions with our grow lights. Beautiful plants. Working hard, getting them all organized. So let's take a look at how the team is doing this. So they're working on the conveyor belt today, which this conveyor belt has worked very well. We have one person at one end who's grabbing the plants, verifying that the pots that they're getting planted into are all correct. They then get set on the conveyor belt, in which then they get planted. I'm guessing this is probably Rainbow's End without looking. Island Breeze. The red stems kind of threw me off. So this is the Island Breeze, what that looks like when it gets started. So we've got a planter on each side planting their side of the pots. We have a tagger who's getting the tags all in place. And then at the end we have the setter downer. I guess that's the best name I can say it. They're laughing at me. But that's what you're doing, you're right. You're set. You're not sitting down, you're setting down. There's a big difference there. Rhonda's getting her miles in today. She likes doing it though because she's always at the end, and I think she chooses to be there. So we would never make somebody do that all day long if that wasn't what they wanted to do. Now other things maybe, right? Like you guys, you may not want to be planting, but you are.
I don't mind it.
No, they don't mind it. So getting it done today though. So this is kind of fun too, I think, to see all the different hostas, like how they come in. So Silly String, Blueberry Muffin, Love Story, Fire and Ice, Echo the Sun, and down at the end there is Voices in the Wind. So these come in as what we call a 50 cell. That's the size of the plant. Nice root system. These will get planted and they fill out really nice for the end of the summer. Silly string is kind of a silly one actually. Look at this. Just nice strappy leaves, but it has such a cool habit when it's in the ground. All right, so a lot going on today. Plants are showing their pretty little blooms, lots of work getting done. All in a day's work here at Garden Crossings. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. We'll get to your questions as always. If you're interested in any of the plants that you saw here today, you can shop online at gardencrossings.com or stop into our retail garden center here located in Zeeland, Michigan. Thanks for watching and have a great day.